lot of fun doing what we do with such a low inventory. And I say that very sarcastically. It's been a very challenging market for buyers, not so much for sellers because there's literally nothing out there. But when I'm talking East Bay, by the way, to our listeners, we're talking Barrington, we're talking Warren, and we're talking Bristol. It's such a small piece of Rhode Island, but such a huge market volume wise. Okay. There's a lot of waterfront real estate there. There's a lot of very high-end communities, and it's a really well sought after place. So, Steve, what is it? What's such the attraction? Why are people looking in droves to move to the East Bay? What is it?
As you know, my wife owns a small business in town, and anytime somebody comes in from out of town, either for a wedding, the 4th of July parade, and the message is always the same. I didn't even know this was here. And when they come here, it resonates with people. The community's friendly, people are welcoming. Like you mentioned, the coastline in Bristol, Warren, and Barrington is absolutely gorgeous. The neighborhoods on the inland are only minutes. Most of them you can walk to some type of a water amenity. And if you can't walk, you can ride a bike, or you can get there in a car in less than 5 minutes, no matter which town you're in. And I think that speaks to a lot of people. I think a lot of people love being by the water. They love smelling the water. They love going to waterfront restaurants.
Where do you anticipate Warren and Bristol as far as real estate prices and businesses coming in? Where do you anticipate that to go?
Right now, Warren specifically is doing a fantastic job in keeping small businesses and recruiting small businesses to their downtown area, which includes Water Street and all the connecting streets to Main Street.
Yeah.
They've done a great job. That in itself is reflecting in the home values. There's a slogan in Warren amongst the locals that says "Keep Warren Weird," and they really do a nice job of welcoming anybody who wants to come in and invest their time and money. They don't frown. They don't look down on anybody. They're very accepting in Warren.
Yeah.
And in Bristol, you saw that same type of renaissance happening a couple of decades ago. What I remember as a kid in the downtown area is nowhere near what it is now, as far as the homes being revitalized, the businesses that are on the waterfront, the town commons been redone, the town parks, the beach, you name it. Everything is completely different than when I was a child, and that's had a direct reflect on the home values here in town.
You're an advisor. You're out there working with listings, with buyers. What exactly are you seeing on the East Bay?
At face value, the perception, and you hear it every day, is that there's no inventory. You ask folks if they would like to sell their home, and their first objection is always, well, where would I go? I believe you referenced them earlier in the week to us, that the number of units that are sold in Rhode Island, this is a Rhode Island number, not an East Bay number, are actually scheduled to be higher in the first quarter of 2022 than they were in 2021. And I remember sitting in my office last year thinking to myself, we're really busy, but there's no inventory online. So what that tells me is that there is inventory. It's just not staying in front of our eyes very long.
Correct.
And some of them are getting sold off market, but that's where a good advisor, a good agent comes in, because they constantly have their nose in everything. And when they hear of something, they say, hey, I have a buyer for that. Yeah. And then they marry the two, and that's how the magic happens.
On the East Bay alone, Barrington, Warren, and Bristol, right now, there's 23 active single-family homes. 23, guys. Right. That's 3 full communities, 23 homes. That's insane, right? Now, when we look at the amount of pendings, okay, there's 68 pending single-family homes. It's triple the amount. So what we were talking about the other day on our call, there is a lot of homes hitting the market. They're just selling so quickly, right? I mean, in Rhode Island, there's about 1,300 single-family homes pending altogether, and there's roughly 540 active. Now, this active amount is actually up 8% from last week. What's your take on the coming market? Where do you think things are going to go inventory-wise as we get into spring, going into summer?
I'm already starting to hear more chatter heading now that the sun's coming out and the snow's going away. People are starting to come out of hibernation. So I think it's going to look a lot like last year,
I
where
agree.
inventory is never going to appear to be huge, but the units are still going to move. Everybody that I'm talking to in my network, we pretty much all agree. We're looking at another year, 18 months of the same. There doesn't seem to be any relief as far as a huge influx of people saying, yeah, just sell my home. I believe if you look at the pendings, most of them are under, 21 days. It doesn't take long to get them under contract.